What the hell? Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I don't think it's the cable. It actually might just be my internet or my computer. One of the two. Something is happening. So I'm gonna not upload this VOD, these choppy pieces of the VOD to YouTube this week. I'm gonna potentially look into using a different streaming thing to see if that will fix the issue. If it does not fix the issue, then yeah, then it's, if it's not, if I switch off of OBS or completely delete OBS out of here and it's not OBS, then it's something else. Something is stopping my stream from working. So I don't know. At least the cable is cleared of its guilty charge. That is true. At least it's not the cable. But I will say this, unless it just decided to take a break from disconnecting for 30 minutes, it didn't disconnect like every 5 minutes during that time. So who knows? Who knows at this point? I do think it might be OBS. Also, my thing just popped up where it said that I was live now. We'll see what we can do to fix that. I think that will be like the best thing for me to do. Okay, it's okay. We're still gonna stream. I'm still gonna keep streaming. I'm not gonna stop. It's just gonna kind of suck. I apologize if it's chopped up into little tiny itty bitty pieces. But I'm not gonna quit streaming, and I can't record because when I do, my OBS decides to break. So we're just gonna hang out today. Today's a chill day. Today's fine. Today is good. Anyway, what were we talking about? What the hell were we talking about, chat? I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm very confused. What was it? It was, we're talking about phones, right? No, let me go back up and look. Modern phones are a bit shitty quality. Legs? Hello, I'm that guy. Modern phones are a bit shitty quality. Yes. Modern phones. That's what we're talking about. Modern phones are terrible. You know what else is terrible? Technology nowadays in general. You know what? Let's just beat around the bush. Let's beat around the metaphorical bush. Okay? Tech nowadays just sucks. Period. It's just bad. Period. Like, everything's breaking. If you don't have the new higher end shit, it's, you know, not working properly. Things don't want to work all the time. It's just not good. It really is. I mean, there's technological stuff that's happened that is really, really good, but I feel like it's overshadowed by all the fucking, like, the breaking and the bullshit that happens constantly, you know? Like I said, old plastic phones, old sliders, flip phones, the stuff that we had, you could throw against the wall, but you can't drop a phone from like 2 feet off the ground without it shattering nowadays. Or what was it? Like computers. Computers is another prime example of things just breaking. You could buy a brand new computer This thing's never been touched. $2,000 computer, right? Oh man, look at this brand new fucking, I don't know, Fox powered Hydro Mechanica Majubagaba Boobada thing here with this like big core processor and this giant CPU and these fans and the, you know, all that other shit. And then in a year's time, that computer is obsolete. In a year's time, that computer is obsolete. It's just gone. It's done. There's no need for that computer anymore because you have to get the newest computer. You have to get the what is it now? It's the 3090? Is it the 3090? So the 3060 through 3080, while still good, doesn't compare to the 3090 and will soon be obsolete. So it's like, what the fuck? And that happens all the time. I get like advancements and stuff like that, but it really does suck because I remember things not like, I feel like things didn't advance so much, or at least I didn't pay attention to like that back then. Like things didn't like skyrocket and things were like actually made for like fucking, they were made better. They were made to last, not to so you can replace it within a year. Nothing will ever compare to the Nokia 3310. 3310? What is the Nokia 3310? Let me look. Okay, Nokia 3310. Oh yeah, that fucking thing. We used to call that the, because I think back in the day, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if I should say it. Because I don't know if it's a specific thing. Those phones were used for something else, and I think you could get them for free, if I remember correctly. Or something like that. I don't remember. Which brings up the question of why bother buying new stuff. Exactly. I mean, I can understand if your job is like streaming, right? Like my hobby is streaming. And in order for me to have a good quality streams with high-end stuff and stuff like that, I have to, you know, upgrade constantly. Understandable, right? Completely makes sense. But it doesn't change the fact that this shit costs an arm and a leg. Like, and it doesn't change the fact that I bought this computer in 2021, at the beginning of 2021, to start streaming on it, and it's literally been a year, basically, since I've gotten it. 1 year, and I'm already having issues with it. And I was having issues 2 months ago. Like, that shouldn't be a thing. I shouldn't have issues with my computer right now. I should still have another year left in it at least. If something breaks after 2 years, that's one thing. Like, I have an Xbox One. I've had it since it came out. And it finally bricked. After so long, it finally bricked. The power supply burnt out, I'm pretty sure, and it's pretty well shot. I can't turn it back on. I can't get on it. I can't do anything with it. Which really sucks. But that fucking thing lasted. But I mean, it had its issues. By George, it had its issues. By George, what the fuck? Or old cars. Old cars lasted a long time, dude. Nowadays, you have a car, you drive it for 1 year, and then that car fucking breaks. I don't drive, but that's basically all I've seen with vehicles lately, is that they break down so fast. It's too fast, too furious, chat. Too fast, too furious. What else is something that was made back in the day that breaks? I'm gonna actually look this up. What is because it would be 2000s technology, right? 2000s technology. Oh man, chat. We had a Trevor Trove? A Trevor Trove. Treasure trove. Nostalgia. These days, camera phones are just a part of everyday apparel. Yeah, that's another thing. Camera phones weren't a thing back then. 2000. Oh, it did give us camera phones. Yeah, no, 2000s was like the start of it though. 2000 to 2003 gave us camera phones, USB flash drives, Bluetooth, iPods, the video game revolution, LinkedIn, and more. So back in the 2000s, while I was growing up, I got to experience a lot of different things, like digital cameras, DVD players, chat. I was young when VHSs were becoming obsolete and DVD came in. Think about that. DVD players, chat. That was revolutionary shit. CDs nuts. Got you, chat. Anyway, no, like DVD players. I'm trying to look at like a actual like photo. There's a photo of it. Trying to see what check existed back in the 2000s. Broadband internet usage. Internet becoming a huge fucking thing. Like, I remember that. I remember we first got dial-up, and it was pretty crazy. Human music. Oh yeah, iPods and MP3 players. I remember having I think it was a Walkman, to listen to, and then we had iPods and stuff. I got an iPod. I think it was my mom's, and then I ended up stealing for myself. But I had an MP3 player at one point in time too. And I remember we'd have to go on to like torrent websites to download music. And I remember when like some music was just coming out. Smash Mouth was really, really big back then because like the first Shrek movie came out. And the first Shrek movie came out, and the one movie with Ben Stiller being a superhero came out. It was like Mystery Men or something like that. I think it had Kel from Kenan and Kel in it too. PSP, that was a thing that happened. Google happened. Oh my god. Adobe Flash. Didn't Adobe Flash isn't Adobe Flash like gone? Didn't they stop using that now? Like, YouTube was born. That was another thing. YouTube was born back when I was growing up. USB flash drives. I remember having a flash drive. Adobe Flash is dead. Yeah. So Adobe Flash died. Flash drives existed. Data storage prices. I don't know what that means. The first terabyte hard drives. The first terabyte hard drives. Chat was back in my era. The first two terabyte hard drives were developed and being used. Windows XP, Windows XP and Vista and Windows 7 were all in my time. Free software, open source was in my time. Blogs, portals, intranets, and wikis became common. I'm reading off of Wiki right now. Wireless networks, that started becoming a thing, because I remember it was originally back in the day with floppy disks. Yeah, actually, yes. I used to play floppy disk games in my old computer. Computers used to have CD-ROM ports and floppy disk ports, and computers used to also, some computers had a burner port, so you could burn CDs on the computer. Because I remember I used to do that all the time. I used to make my own CDs to listen to on the bus rides to school. Back in the day with the Flash, Oregon Trail was a 2-part disc. Oregon Trail was on a floppy disk at one point, which is really good. How many times have we like sat here and talked about the past? Peer-to-peer technology, internet, telephone, Skype. Remember Skype? Skype was a thing. I remember Skype. LimeWire. I remember LimeWire. I don't know what Kazoo is. iTunes ended up coming into play. Video game industry profits surpassed the movie industries in 2004. Holy shit. Video games became so big when I was growing up. So big. People were playing them all the time. I remember when I was in school that talking about like Yu-Gi-Oh! And anime and stuff like that was considered so nerdy, and if you did it, like, girls wouldn't talk to you, and people always thought you were weird for liking that type of stuff. And then we talked about it, and we would talk about it with our friends in secret and play like Power Rangers and like Power Rangers. But if you like that, you would consider it a baby because you like Power Rangers, right? Nowadays, pop culture and comics and manga and anime are so like widely known that it's like, it's weird when someone says like, I don't know what that anime is, when it's like a really famous anime. But back then when you said oh man, I really liked Full Metal Alchemist, someone was like, what? Is that a baby show? Are you watching cartoons like a baby? Wow, you nerd. But nowadays it's just so widely accepted, and it's lovely. Look at VTubing. VTubing exists because of that stuff. VTubing exists because anime exists and pop culture exists and stuff like that. Like all this shit led to us having these really cool things. And sure, it may suck, but I mean, we've advanced a lot in like a lot of things. And then we regressed. But we don't need to talk about that part. I still have my old consoles that still work perfectly, and I love playing on them. Yes, I have an old Super Nintendo that is mine, with a whole shitload of Super Nintendo games, which were big cartridges for those of you who don't know. I had a PS2, a big black PS2, and then it got broke, so I got a PS2 Slim when the Slims came out. And then I switched to 360 when the 360 came out. But I still have my PS2. I have over 200 games for my PS2. 200 plus games. That thing. That thing is my baby, and I'll probably never get rid of it, ever. I'm sure it still works, but here's the thing about my PS2 and stuff. Nowadays, TVs still have those ports, don't they? They still have the white, red, and yellow ports. I used to have a box TV, chat. A small square box TV before flat screens came out and were a huge thing. It was a small square box TV that I would play, like I would sit in the corner of my room and play like wrestling games and play like Devil May Cry, Jack and Daxter. Oh man. Oh man, I fucking love playing old games so much. You don't understand how people can get rid of their old game systems. I almost got rid of some old game systems. I think I almost got rid of my Super Nintendo. But I chose against it because I wanted money. I wanted money to buy something new, and then I realized that that was kind of silly because my Super Nintendo is more valuable to me than fucking getting like a Xbox nowadays, because you can't get that shit anymore. Like, you go to pawn shops and find all this old stuff, or you go to like a retro game store now to find it. Man, I remember video stores. You guys remember video stores? I bet you don't. We used to have like old video stores, not specifically Blockbuster, but there was other ones that existed around me, where we'd go into the store and there would always be a shelf full of like PS2 games. We had two here, where I am from, and one of them closed down a long time ago, and the other one also closed down. But the first one that closed down had like an aisle loaded up with nothing but Super Nintendo games. And I remember going there and renting Super Nintendo games from there all the time. I think when it closed up, you could go in and buy them. And we went in and bought some, I think. It was so good. I absolutely loved that. Oh, I miss those stores too. I miss them a lot. What else was done? US tech bubble burst. Social networking. MySpace, Facebook, and microblogging happened. Game Exchange. Gotta ride those stocks. Man, GameStop has Game Exchange, but their exchange kind of blows. But MySpace and Facebook coming out in my time, smart boards in school, that definitely, I think that somewhat happened. Ebook readers, yep, I remember that. And then, oh, okay, here we go. What the fuck? I just saw something very weird. So, for video stuff, digital cameras became popular. I remember that. I remember digital cameras becoming really popular. Back when I was growing up, cameras had film. Chat. I know. Cameras had film, and you had to snap a picture with film and replace the film, and then take the film to Walmart to get it developed. That's how cameras used to work. But when I was growing up, digital cameras came. So you didn't have to. Then, mobile phones started taking in cameras with digital cameras. According to this, it has something to do with sexting, but we're not going to talk about that. What happened next? Graphic processing units, video cards. Yep. Video cards became a thing. Flat panel displays. Oh yeah. The displays. They started having displays up on the screen, or like screens and stuff back then. So this was a dramatic change during the decade. Very few were sold in the mid-2000s. The majority of the stores sell only flat panel TVs by the end of the decade. So they stopped selling big square TVs, and now they only sell flat screens. Headphones changed so much. Yes, headphones changed a lot too. They changed a lot. They went from being little plastic pieces of shit to being like high-end, really good headphones. And like skull candy headphones back then and stuff like that. What else is there? The digital switchover started to be enforced for television. Yep, television started going digital. So it was no longer fucking VHS and stuff. Digital video recorders, or DVRs, allowed them to modify content they watch and record TV programs. DVRs became a thing when I was growing up, chat. DVR was really, really cool. Instead of having to pop in a VHS tape and record a show, you could pop on a DVR and record fucking anything.